string, few string operation. So first of all we will start with prime number. Okay, so we all know prime number is a number which is divisible by itself and 1. Suppose 5 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number, right, and 2 is also a prime number, right. So we will take the input from users. In SAP ABAP, the technique to use the user, the technique to take the user input is declaring it as parameters. So we will declare it as type I, right. Now we are going to check whether this given input is prime number or not. For that we need to write some logic, and the logic is we need to write a while loop. You can write a while loop also and for loop also, but for your kind information, in ABAP there is no for loop. That's why every time I'm using only while loop. Okay, while so let me take some more data like divisible by type I, increment type I. I will explain you the significance of all these variables. Okay, divisible, increment, and let's go with this only now, as of now. So the moment user gives the input, we will pass the same input to division variable. Why? We will see it on the okay. So what we are actually trying to do, while division is greater than 0, that is 1. So up to 1 it will continue, and while. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to check, we need to divide the input by this. Then at the next time, division is equal to division minus 1. First of all, suppose the input has been given as 12, this variable is also not 12. Now while 12 is greater than 0, we will continue this loop, and on every iteration we will decrement it, right. So first time it was 12, second time it will be 11, similarly it will go up to 1, and every time we will divide it. So for that also we need to take one parameter. The parameter is remainder type I. Okay, so what we are going to do, we will check the remainder is 0, it is divisible. So when it is divisible, we will increment it by 1. Let's check it out. Remainder is equal to input modulo operator div. If remainder is equal to 0, and if what you are doing, increment is equal to increment plus 1, right. Whenever input is divisible by this number, that is remainder will be 0, and if remainder is 0, will increment it by 1. So the default value will be 0. So the main thing is, at the end of this loop we will come to know if it is prime number, it will be divisible by only 2 numbers, that is 1 itself and another is 1. So we will set the logic, if at the end of this while loop, if increment is equal to 2, and if okay, else, and if increment is equal to 2, right, what we have to write, input each prime number, right, else, right, each not a prime number, right guys? So everything is right. I will explain it one more time. Let's execute it first. Suppose given is 7. 7 is a prime number. Is it? Give it as 6. 6 is not a prime number because it is divisible by 1, 2, 3 and 6 itself. Let's check few more things. 11 is a prime number, right? So this way we have checked how to check whether the particular number is prime number or not. Suppose you have given a task to check whether how many prime numbers are available up to this range, right? Suppose it is given it as 1 to 20, up to 20. How many prime numbers are available there? So for that also we can see the program. Program is like this. So we will take the input as string now, because no, we can take it as I also, or I only, no problem. Okay, now our logic should be little bit changed. When we are going to determine for a particular input variable, for a particular digit, it is only to divide it by its below number up to 1. But when it is up to 20, so what we are going to do, we have to write a nested loop, right? So do input times, right? Means जितना बार भी इनपुट है उतना बार इसको रिपीट करो. Repeat it up to input times. If it is 20, the loop continue with for 20 times. Okay. Now we need to perform inner loop. So for that we need to define one more variable, inner type I. Okay. So what we are going to do? So no, not like this. While input is greater than 1, we will continue this, and every time we will then decrement its value, and every time what we are going to do, we will provide the same input to inner. You are getting my point? And again we will write one more thing, while inner is greater than 0 and while divide करते जाओ, right guys? Type I, remainder we have taken, increment type I, same thing there also we have taken, remainder is equal to input mod inner, and inner equal to inner minus 1, right? If remainder equal to 0, okay, increment equal to increment plus 1, right? So what we are doing here, We have taken input, so the input was 20. Okay, it will be greater than 0 only. So what we are doing, we are providing this value input to inner, and again inside we are doing one more inner loop. So what inside what we are doing, inner. While inner is greater than 0, we will continue. So what is the exact logic? The logic is, suppose I have taken 20, so I need to check for 20 also, 19 also, 18 also, up to 2 also, because the question is like that only. We have to find out the number of the total number of prime numbers available up to 1 to 20. So we need to check each of them one by one. So for checking that, so suppose first of all we have taken it as 20, so we need to divide it by 20, then 19, then 18, then 17, right? Suppose after decrementing this, our number input was suppose it become 18, so we need to divide it by 18, 17, 16, 14 up to 1, right? Similarly, what we are doing, we have taken input as 20, we are providing input to inner, again we are saying inner greater than 0, so once it comes inside, it will continue up to that much time. If it is 20, this loop will continue up to 20 times, then only it will come outside, and then it will decrement the value of input. Then again the input value, that is 19, will be assigned to inner, and this will again continue for 19 times, because we have written while inner is greater than 0, and inner value will be determined by input, and on every iteration the input value is getting decreased. So suppose after 10 iteration, so input value, if it is 20, after 10 iteration it will be 10. So 10 is equal to inner, we are providing 10 to inner. So while inner, that is 10 greater than 0, continue this for 10 times. Why 10 times? Because we need to divide input by 10, 9, 8, 7 up to 1, and we are passing it into a remainder variable, and we are checking if remainder is equal to 0, increment is equal to increment plus 1, and this, that. Are you getting my point? Okay. So once this is done, what we will say, if increment, because we were increasing it, if it is remainder is 0 on any division, we will increment this one is equal to 2, right? And if we will say concatenate increment, not increment, input str into str. Now what is this? This is another variable which is nothing but wait. So what is this? Input, right? Str. It is nothing but a string, and on every, whenever we find out if any input is if any input is prime number, we will just concatenate that input into str. Okay. Okay guys, so one more thing we can do, instead of concatenating this, we can simply write input, write input only, no problem. Okay, but before doing this, we need to initialize it again to 0, because second time it will be 2 again, and again it will start with 2 plus 1 3. So our concept will be failed, our logic will be failed, because we have set the logic if an increment is equal to 2. So for every time it will be 0, and again it will increase. Okay, I guess we have done the things. Let's check it out. Type I, right? And do. Okay, this will be and while. Period is missing. In ABAP, every statement should contain this dot. Syntactically correct. Activate this. Give it is up to 20. Execute this. 19, 17, 13, 11, 7, 5, 3, 2 is my prime number. Have you seen how easy it is? How much time it will take me to write this kind of program? 5 minutes or 10 minutes hardly. You can also have this kind of logic. So try to see my videos as much as possible, because my videos is logic specific. I'm giving you the ability, actually I'm guiding you to learn the logic, guys. Okay, so what is this? This is, see, this is a nested loop. While के अंदर while, it will continue up to this much time, then only it will continue. So this kind of logics you should know. Anyways, so my today agenda is, one agenda is already completed. Second one is some string operations. So suppose what kind of string operation is very used in market when you are doing programming. There are string operation like you need to find out length, right? You need to concatenate, right? You need to search operation, right? And there are a few more things that is more used whenever you are doing programming. Finding out length, concatenating, search operation, right? Accessing single variables using offset, which is the most important thing in ABAP. Okay, and condense the string. So we are going to check out all these things today. So what do we need to do? Let's start with directly with data. Let's start with parameter. Input a string. Okay, type a string. Okay guys, now I need to take suppose user has entered 1 2 3 star @ percentage and ABCD. I need to find out only the ABCD. How we can do this? So for that we need to know the string operation. Len will be used to find out the length. Okay, CHA is a variable that will hold only one character at a time. Okay, so length is equal to strlen, what? Input, right? We have taken the length. We will say while length, or else no, in ABAP it is easy to use do loop, but I am making this video, writing this logic for all other guys also who don't know about ABAP. So I will write while loop only. While len is greater than 0, it will continue, and while, okay, and len is equal to len minus 1. This is one of the most classical way of writing a while loop. Okay, every time on every iteration we have to access one input, one character of the input string, right? So CHA is equal to input, this is the logic to find out single character from a string. So what is count here? Count is the offset, type I, value 0. Okay, so what we are saying to the compiler, we are saying to the system, input string, take the character of the input string, only one character, because we have given it as 1. If we give it as 2, it will take 2 characters. We are giving it only 1 characters from this input string, where count is equal to 0. So suppose the input string is equal to Ramesh. Okay, so the count is 0, 0 of 1. So 0 is before R, 0 of 1 is R. Okay, so R you will fetch at a time. Again we will increment it, the value of count. So count will be 1, 1 is R, 1 of 1 is A. Second time we will fetch A only. Similarly, we will increment it also. Okay, and we need to, if CHA contains any psi A, B, C, D, E, actually A, B, C, D, E, this is the system variable defined in ABAP to compare your input with A, B, C, D, A to Z. If it contains this much, concatenate that CHA str into str. So where is str? Here is str. Data str type string. Right? We are saying concatenate the character that you accessed, which is ABCD, with str, which is a string, into str itself. Right? Okay guys, let's check it out. Syntactically correct, activate karo. Okay, now at the end we will write one more thing we can do, condense str no gaps. This is another string operation, right? So we are fetching only the characters. Input suppose as we have not written the right statement. How it will run, right? Have you seen this? We are able to fetch only the characters. Let's check it out one more time. Suppose I give 1, 2, 3, this, anything you give. Okay, I want only the characters from this input string DEFTTL. This was the character input. So you have seen how to use the string operation, as well as for a web guys who's learning a web. It's very useful thing, and I hope you guys have enjoyed my videos. I will come again with some more new concepts and some more logical programs. तब तक के लिए सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.